In the heart of South Africa's battle against corruption, a high-stakes inquiry is unfolding, one that peels back the layers of alleged political interference, cartel infiltration, and betrayal within the nation's criminal justice system. This is the Madlanga Commission, chaired by the esteemed Justice Mbuyiseni Madlanga, a former Constitutional Court judge known for his unwavering commitment to justice. But on November 4th, 2025, what was meant to be a routine day of testimony turned into a thriller-worthy blunder, exposing the fragile line between transparency and danger. Today, we dive into this mess, the background, the bombshell incident, and the chilling consequences that could ripple through the corridors of power. Stay with me. This is a story of secrets, slips, and stakes that couldn't be higher. Let's set the scene. The Madlanga Commission of Inquiry was established to probe explosive allegations of criminality, political meddling, and deep-rooted corruption in law enforcement. It all stems from claims made by KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner, Lieutenant General Matlala, who accused top officials of obstructing investigations into powerful criminal syndicates. Think of it as South Africa's latest chapter in the fight against state capture, echoing the Zondo Commission, but zeroing in on the police force itself. At the center of this storm is Vusimuzi Matlala, a businessman accused of heading a sprawling criminal cartel. Testimonies paint him as a puppet master, rigging tenders, funneling bribes, and even allegedly funding political campaigns. Witnesses have dropped bombshells, WhatsApp messages revealing demands for payouts from underworld figures to senior cops like suspended Deputy National Commissioner Shadrach Sibia, Major General Lesetja Sonona, and others. One confidential witness, known only as Witness C, alleged Matlala bankrolled flights and accommodations for Police Minister Senzo Mchunu's ANC presidential bid push, to the tune of 500,000 rand. And that's just the tip. Talk of kickbacks from a 1.2 billion rand SAPS health contract, leaked intelligence, and even links to missing persons like businessman Jerry Boshoga. But here's where it gets thrilling. To protect those brave enough to speak out, the Commission relies on anonymous witnesses. Labeled simply as Witness X, A, B, or C, they testify remotely, with voices distorted, faces hidden, and some even stashed in safe houses. Their safety is paramount because the threats are real. Retaliation from cartels, rogue officers, or politicians could mean intimidation, or worse, assassination. Media outlets like News 24, Daily Maverick, and IOL have agreed to strict protocols. No live airing of sensitive parts, evidence leaders relaying info to avoid endangering lives. Enter Lt-Gen Dumisani Khumalo, the national head of crime intelligence and a key figure in unraveling these networks. Khumalo first took the stand last month, revealing the existence of the Big Five criminal cartel, operating mainly in Gauteng, a group tied to everything from drug trafficking to political assassinations. His testimony was cut short when he fell ill on October 1st, but on November 4th, he returned, ready to dive deeper into threats against investigators, internal leaks, and cartel infiltrations. The hearing was broadcast live across multiple channels: Newsroom Africa, MDN News, SABC, IOL, and even YouTube streams. Thousands tuned in, expecting more revelations. But then, disaster struck, as Khumalo's annexures, attachments like documents, and evidence from his witness statement, were projected onto the screen for the public feed. Something went horribly wrong.
Thank you, General. I'm sorry to interrupt your evidence, but Chair, it's come to my attention that some of the annexures and contents of the witness's statement is being projected in public. I wasn't aware because it doesn't come up on the screens in front of me at all. But as a result, information that should not be public is being made public. And may I ask that there's no projection unless I request it?
May we take an adjournment, a brief adjournment, and I would like for us to meet the people who do the projection outside immediately, please.
I'd appreciate that. Thank you,
Let's
Chair.
adjourn.
Unredacted versions flashed up, accidentally revealing the real names of two confidential witnesses, previously known only as Witness A and B. These are Provincial Crime Unit officers, whose identities were shielded for their protection. The evidence leader spotted it immediately, halting proceedings. Justice Madlanga called a brief adjournment to address the chaos. Behind the scenes, it's believed the Commission's tech and media teams were scrambled, perhaps chewing out the operator responsible and rushing to redact the documents. But the damage was done. With live streams beaming to countless viewers, journalists, and potentially the very criminals under scrutiny, those names were out in the open. Screenshots and clips began circulating on platforms like X, amplifying the exposure. When the session resumed, there was no mention of the leak. They jumped straight back into Khumalo's testimony, a calculated move to avoid giving the incident more airtime and further spotlighting the names. Officially, no statements have been released yet, but insiders suggest urgent measures. Takedowns of recordings, NDAs reinforced, and enhanced security for the affected witnesses. Now, let's unpack the consequences. This isn't just a tech glitch, it's a potential catastrophe. First and foremost, witness safety is compromised. These individuals were anonymous for a reason, testifying against heavyweights like Matlala and corrupt officials. In a country where past inquiries like Zondo saw witnesses face death threats or worse, this leak could invite retaliation. SAPS and the Commission might ramp up protections, relocations, bodyguards. But once identities are public, the genie is out of the bottle. If anything happens to these witnesses, it could trigger outrage, lawsuits, and even derail the entire probe. Second, the Commission's credibility takes a nosedive. Is this sheer incompetence or something sinister, like sabotage by insiders protecting the accused? Social media is ablaze with speculation. Ex-users calling for firings, demanding investigations into the mistake. It erodes public trust. Why participate if protections fail? Future witnesses might bail, stalling efforts to expose SAPS rot. Legally, it could breach the Witness Protection Act, inviting probes or even criminal charges against those responsible. Third, the broader fallout. Media outlets face ethical scrutiny for not cutting feeds faster, while politically, it piles pressure on figures like Minister Mchunu, already implicated in testimonies. This incident highlights the tightrope of transparency in high-stakes inquiries. Too much openness risks lives. Too little fuels conspiracy theories. In a nation grappling with crime rates and eroded faith in institutions, this could undermine reforms, emboldening cartels and corrupt networks. Adding to the intrigue, Khumalo's ongoing testimony today delved into more dirt. Threats to the Political Killings Task Team, internal SAPS document leaks via WhatsApp, and demands for millions in bribes. It's a web that connects cops, businessmen, and politicians, raising questions about how deep the rot goes. The Madlanga Commission is a beacon of hope in South Africa's fight for accountability. But this leak reminds us how fragile that process is. As the hearings continue, one thing is clear. The truth comes at a cost, and protecting those who reveal it is non-negotiable. What do you think? Was this an accident or an inside job? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Watch the video on your left to see how General Mchunu almost lost his life. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Until next time.